still have that last tag burning a hole in my pocket, and I was like, you know, I got to close this thing up. If I see a spike or a doe, I'm going to take it, and I'm going to go ahead and finish this, what I started this year. If I see some deer real early crossing the ridge to my left to the west. So I got stood up, and I was like, you know, it could happen at any time, so I'm going to go ahead and get ready. And I got stood up, and I got in a good position, and I was ready to go. So if they did step out, you know, I could hit record and I could start going. And out of the corner of my eye, I could see him running down the trail in front of the ground blind over there that we hunt out. Come right up as a yearling and a doe. I hit record as fast as I can. I was like, all right, they're coming right in. And knowing that I was filming at the same time was making it more difficult. I was like, you know, I have something to slow these deer down. If I don't see them in enough time, I'm not going to be able to draw back. And what had happened is when I was pouring the corn out, I dropped just a little shake of corn right there by the fence. Because I looked up and I saw my stand. There was a whole bunch of bushes and a little dead tree in the way of this corn I was pouring down. I was like, you know, if they come right up to this corn, they'll pause and either smell that corn or eat it. It'll give me time to draw back. And that's exactly what happened. I couldn't believe it. The doe and the yearling stopped and started eating that corn that I dropped. And I was like, perfect. You know, I draw back. You can hear me draw back in the film, and I sit there for, it seems like forever. And I was like, you know, this is probably my last trip down here. Worst drought in Texas history. I'm going to go ahead and shoot this yearling doe. She was old enough to shoot, you know. She wasn't by any means a mature doe, but I didn't want to shoot her mother and then have her, you know, defenseless, you know, for the rest of the winter with, you know, the drought and everything else. And I was like, you know, a more ethical shot would be the yearling, because the older doe has a better chance of making it through a bad winter, especially with the drought that we've had and everything else. Those does are smarter. They can avoid danger. They can find food in other places. You know, they're big enough to travel around to find food if it gets real bad. And so I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna take her. Great shot right behind the shoulder. I tried to put it a little low. I'm always afraid to shoot low and hit hard, but I told myself on this last deer I was going to try to shoot a little low, but I'm starting to get the shakes now. It's like 30, probably just in the 30s now, probably 38, 39. First morning it was 28, so I don't like hunting in cold weather. So I tried to tag out in October, but it just didn't work out that way. Just got down out of the stand. She crashed right over there, so I've waited about 15-20 minutes. Come down and get my hair. I can see her laying over there, so Reaper Archery came through. And there's another deer walking right there. Watch this. There it goes right there. Alright. I follow that trail right where I thought she went, and sure enough, there's blood everywhere, and I could see her laying in between some dead trees, and sure enough, I went over there, and there's just, I'd never seen so much blood, and from from the wound all the way down to her hoof on that shoulder is just solid red, and there's blood everywhere. You can see all the bubbles that come out of her. You know, it's a good indication of a double lung right there.